Hollywood legend Robert Redford, popularly known as Bob Woodward for his role in the movie All the President's Men, finally revealed a shocking truth. Do you know behind the fame lies a life marked by unimaginable challenges? Career roadblocks to heartbreaking personal losses. How did he battle through tragedy, defy expectations, and still emerge as one of the most respected figures in film? Get ready to dive into an untold story of a man who became a symbol of strength, survival, and success. Early life. Charles Robert Redford Jr. was born on August 18, 1936, in Santa Monica, California, to Martha Woodruff Redford and Charles Robert Redford, an accountant. William Redford is his paternal half-brother. Robert attended Van Nuys High School, where he was a student of baseball pitcher Don Drysdale. He has described himself as having been a bad student, finding inspiration outside the classroom in art and sports. He hit tennis balls with Pancho Gonzalez at the Los Angeles Tennis Club. Raised in a middle-class family, Redford's childhood was colored by the challenges and optimism of post-war America. His father, initially a milkman, transitioned to an accountant, while his mother, Martha Hart, was a dedicated homemaker. Navigating his early years during the tail end of the Great Depression and World War II, Redford developed a strong connection to nature, a passion that would later fuel his environmental activism. After graduating from high school in 1954, he attended the University of Colorado in Boulder on a baseball scholarship for a year and a half, where he was a member of the Kappa Sigma fraternity. He got a job at the Sink, a local restaurant and bar. However, during his time at Colorado, he began drinking heavily, which ultimately led to the loss of his half-scholarship and expulsion from the university. Seeking direction, Redford traveled through Europe, spending time in France, Spain, and Italy. Upon returning to the U.S., he studied painting at the Pratt Institute in Brooklyn and took classes at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York City, where he discovered his true passion for acting. However, Redford's career was anything but smooth. So, how did he turn it all around to become one of the most respected actors and directors of our time? Buckle up, because Redford's journey is way more dramatic than any movie he's ever made. Acting and film career. Redford's career began in the 50s, in New York City, where the actor found work both on stage and on television. His Broadway debut was in a small role in Tall Story, followed by parts in The Highest Tree and Sunday in New York. His attractive appearance aided him in securing romantic and youthful roles, yet he aspired to transcend mere physical attractiveness. Redford gained fame on Broadway for portraying Elizabeth F. Ashley's husband in Neil Simon's Barefoot in the Park. He also appeared as a guest star on numerous television drama programs, including Naked City, Maverick, The Untouchables, The Americans, Whispering Smith, Perry Mason, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, Route 66, Dr. Kildare, and Playhouse 90, Tate, The Twilight Zone, The Virginian, and Captain Brassbound's Conversion. After a few unsuccessful roles, Redford found a niche in George Roy Hill's Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, which made him a major bankable star. He won a British Academy of Film and Television Award, BAFTA, for that role, as well as his roles in Downhill Racer, 1969, and Tell Them Willie Boy Is Here, 1969. In 1973, Redford experienced an almost unprecedented 4-year run of box office success, including the Western Jeremiah Johnsons, the romantic period drama The Way We Were, the crime caper reunion with Paul Newman, The Sting, and the romantic drama The Great Gatsby. He became the first performer since Bing Crosby in 1946 to have 3 films in a year's top 10 grossing titles. In 1976, Redford co-starred with Dustin Hoffman in All the President's Men, which landed 8 Academy Award nominations, including for Best Picture and Best Director. The film also won the New York Film Critics Award for Best Picture and Best Director. In 1977, Redford appeared in a segment of the war film A Bridge Too Far, then starred as the past his prime rodeo star in The Electric Horseman. Redford made his directorial debut from 1980 to 1998 with the critically and publicly acclaimed drama film Ordinary People. His next film, Legal Eagles, was only a minor success at the box office. Redford did not direct again until The Milagro Beanfield War, a screen version of John Nichols's novel of the Southwest. Other directorial projects include the per-eyed drama A River Runs Through It, based on Norman Maclean's novella, and the exposure quiz show. Redford, a major star throughout the 90s and 2000s, returned to mainstream success as a director with his third film, A River Runs Through It, in 1992. He played a popular role in Indecent Proposal, Up Close and Personal, and The Horse Whisperer. Redford was a leading environmental activist and narrated the IMAX documentary Sacred Planet. In 2013, he starred in All Is Lost, directed by J.C. Shander, receiving acclaim for his performance. He was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Motion Picture Drama, and won the New York Film Critics Circle Award for Best Actor. In 2014, he played Alexander Pierce, the main antagonist of Marvel Studios' superhero film Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Redford played bank robber Forrest Tucker in The Old Man and the Gun, 2018, which received a Golden Globe nomination. In August 2018, Redford announced his retirement from acting following the completion of the film. However, a month later, he expressed regret, stating that he regretted announcing his retirement due to the uncertainty of his future acting career. In the late 90s, when Redford was just beginning to find his way as an actor, he met Lola Van Wagenen, a vibrant and intellectual young woman from Utah with strong roots in her Mormon faith in Los Angeles. Lola was different from the women Redford had known. She was grounded, passionate, and shared his love for nature and the outdoors. On August 9, 1958, Redford married Lola in Las Vegas, just as his career was taking its first steps forward. While their wedding reception in Vegas remains a secret, we can reveal that Lola's grandmother's home hosted a second reception on September 12th of the same year. Together, Redford and Lola had 4 children: Scott Anthony Redford D., Shauna Jean Redford, David James Redford, Jamie, and Amy Hart Redford. For nearly 3 decades, Lola was the woman by his side as he transformed from a struggling actor to a Hollywood icon. They built a life together, far from the noise of celebrities, focusing on their shared values. Even though their love story started brightly, they faced challenges that tested their bond. In 1959, just a year after they married, Redford and Lola faced an unimaginable loss. Their first child, Scott, died of sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, at just 2.5 months old. The grief over this tragedy casts a long shadow over their marriage. Redford, a private man even then, rarely spoke publicly about the pain, but it stayed with him. Scott's loss was something he carried quietly, and the strain it put on their relationship was difficult to ignore. Through the years, Redford buried himself in his work, and as his fame grew, so did the distance between him and Lola. Still, they built a family, and Lola became a historian and environmental activist, supporting his career and raising their children. But after nearly 30 years of marriage, in 1985, Redford and Lola decided to go their separate ways. Their divorce, while amicable, was the end of a long chapter in Redford's life. He has always spoken of Lola with respect, recognizing the important role she played in shaping his early years. In 2001, 16 years and Lola never publicly announced a separation or divorce, but in 1982, entertainment columnist Shirley Etter reported that the pair have been very much apart for several years. Parade magazine questioned the finality of the divorce in 1991. Numerous websites claim they finalized their divorce in 1985. For years, Redford kept his romantic life private. Tabloid headlines linked him to a few women, but nothing became the subject of his personal life. Redford had always been. Then, in the 1990s, Redford met Sibylle Sagers, a German-born painter. Their relationship began quietly, almost unnoticed. Sibylle, like Redford, was a creative spirit, an artist who channeled her love of nature into her work. The two shared not only a love for the arts, but also a commitment to environmental causes, which became a central part of their bond. In 2009, after years of being together, Redford and Sibylle married in a small, private ceremony, finding each other. Together, They collaborated on environmental projects and artistic endeavors, with Sibley's art exhibitions often reflecting the natural beauty they both cherished. The now hugely respectable Hollywood star spent much of his high school years causing trouble with a street gang in his hometown of his involvement in a street gang and the frequent beatings he endured from his fellow gang members. In one incident, Redford recalls that the gang challenged him to leap off a relatively high building as a way to demonstrate his resilience. In his 2011 book, Robert Redford, the biography, Redford revealed that he faced his fears early on. You have two choices, it seems to me. Your fears can guide you, or you can conquer them. After proving his manliness once and for all what was in the car boot, leading to the dropping of charges against the actor, Robert lost his mother. Robert Redford, now in his 80s and still active, remains one of the last surviving stars from Hollywood's golden age. Over his 6-decade career, he has achieved recognition at the Academy Awards as both a filmmaker and actor, founded the Sundance Film Festival, and received the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Yet, despite these accomplishments, little is known about our Women's Leadership celebration at the 2018 Sundance Film Festival to tears with his emotional tribute to his mother. Martha Redford sadly passed away in 1955 from a hemorrhage at the age of just 40. A blood disorder she had contracted during the stillbirth of her twin daughters 8 years prior was the cause of her death. According to Closer Weekly, the Hollywood star admitted that he hadn't made things easy for his mother as a teenager, but that she always stood by her more when she was around. I took her for granted, because that's the way kids were at that age. I regret that she passed away before I could thank her.